Hello, everybody. I am back again. We need to finish up this book. So let's get back to it. Our ABCs of self love. Today we were doing the letters R and S. So the letter R stands for rest. And the quote that they have for the letter R is old mentality. If I'm not working myself to death, I'm wasting potential. New mentality. If I'm not working myself to death, I'm realizing my potential. Let's jump right on into it because y'all know these videos can get long. Time for a new hairdo. So it says R equals rest. In a culture where busyness is prized, rest is the ultimate affront. We spend the bulk of our conversations talking about everything we have to do, wearing our tightly packed schedules like a badge of honor. We fill every ounce of empty space with our phones, mindlessly scrolling through Instagram, taking pictures that will get uploaded to a cloud we'll never visit, reading articles that only reinforce our collective obsession with feeling doomed. They shouldn't have just put Instagram in there, but I don't know. When was this book wrote? This book was written, published. (2023). Y'all, wasn't TikTok out and Snapchat and stuff? Anyway, that's neither here nor there. Don't pay me no attention, y'all. Don't pay me no mind. Anyway, rest is now a 4-letter word. It's uttered with shame when it's uttered at all. I didn't get anything done today. We limit. And the cycle of busyness continues to spin, churning us up and spitting us out. It's time to take back the word rest and all it embodies. To rest is to create space for your body to heal and for your mind to wander. Science tells us that our minds need freedom from constant stimulation in order to thrive. In fact, doing nothing and also thinking about nothing are two of the greatest gifts you can give your body and mind. I'll be trying to do that. How many of y'all need to learn how to rest? Y'all need to learn how to rest. Put hearts in the comments because we need to learn how to rest. It may seem counterintuitive given our obsession with productivity, but doing nothing is the fastest way to revive yourself and actually get somewhere beyond the hamster wheel of your life. Rest, whether that means sleeping for at least 8 hours. Somebody's calling me. Rest, whether that means sleeping for at least 8 hours, spending the afternoon at the beach or in a bath, or simply turning off your phone to take a break from its insistence command over your life, is the key to your spiritual, emotional, mental, and physical revival. Don't believe me? Give it a rest and see how you feel. The activity, self-love in action. It says schedule in some rest this week, the same way you would schedule a business meeting, workout class, a doctor's appointment. Schedule 3 periods of short rest, 1 hour or less, and 2 periods of long rest, 2 hours or more. This is in addition to the time you spend sleeping at night. During these periods of rest, avoid technology as much as you can and let your brain reset from all the digital commotion. Remember, doing less does not make you worthless. So I had did mine, okay? I did mine, but I did mine last week. And last week was my birthday, so I was pretty busy. But that Sunday, we went paintballing. And so I was pretty busy during that day. I literally got up, got ready, went paintballing. Then after we left there, I had stuff to do. So I didn't really rest on Sunday. But Monday, because it was the start of my birthday vacation, I rested. I woke up at 6 o'clock and I laid in the bed to 10 a.m. On Tuesday, I woke up at 6. I didn't really do anything until about 8 a.m. And Wednesday, I would say, what, I think, well, I don't think I got up till, I don't know, probably about noon, but I'm resting. Some of those times I was on social media, but I also have a game on my phone that I be playing too that I like to use to help me rest. I usually fall asleep, but whatever. And then Thursday, so Thursday was the busy day. It was my birthday. Friday, I rested the whole day. Saturday, what did I do Saturday? I helped organize some stuff. And I took a nap from like 12 to 2. And then Sunday, I rested for about 2 hours. And then I did some work. For all of those who know, I worked 2 jobs. And so, the next page said, what did you discover after adding some guilt-free, pre-planned rest to your schedule? And I'm going to say it like this. I wrote on here, y'all. I wrote on here. See, I wrote it on here. It says, I'll be honest. I do feel like not doing anything. I'm allowing my world to just fly by. But I've had some of the most focused moments and energy to do some organizing that I have been prolonging. So, like I said, I sometimes sitting still, I just feel like, I'm not doing anything with myself and that's just me being honest, because sometimes that happens. Sometimes I get up, I do stuff, and I don't be wanting to sit around, because I feel like if I'm sitting around, like I could be doing other stuff during that time. I'm just sitting around, and I have a really bad, I don't like procrastination, although I do procrastinate, but I have to start looking at that in a different way. Maybe I'm resting, not procrastinating. Don't use that, y'all. But anyway, we got to start resting more. Our bodies recover when we are resting. So this is an interesting word for the letter S. The word is surrender. Do y'all look at that word as a bad word, like surrender? Well, not as a bad word, but like you giving up something. And it's kind of crazy, because it right after the letter R, which was rest. So you're gonna rest. You're giving up being busy so you can rest. And now here it is. Surrender is next. What they getting to? Well, let me read it and find out. Surrender. The quote that they have on the opposite page, it says, ended the race, won the war, slowed the pace, claimed the present, took the breath, felt the feeling, healed the wound, quieted the mind, opened the heart, paved the way. And so let's see what surrender is. In war, surrender is a bitter, bitter thing. It happens when one side has tried absolutely everything to win and has failed, oftentimes with tragic consequences. And so it's no surprise when we hear the word surrender, we resist. We want to be strong, we want to win, we want to stay in control no matter what. But just like there's no real winners in war, there is no such thing as complete control. I've been pondering about control lately, so I'm gonna talk about it later. I used to think that if I was strong enough, I could handle everything on my own, because alone equals control. And you know what I realized? Strength based on control is actually quite fragile. Holding all the pieces together is impossible. One wrong move and everything shatters. Now I aim to be soft, to be fluid, flexible, adaptable, in harmony with my environment and those around me, instead of in opposition. If strength used to come from control for me, now it comes from surrender. I've replaced my need for control with grace, trust, and curiosity, and see the future as a gift to be received. I refuse to continue being at war with myself and my life. I surrender. I win. Instead of fear for the worst, I hope for the best. Love yourself in every moment and avoid being attached to a particular outcome. No longer is life about being is about getting to point A or point B. It's about opening the door to yet unknown point C by being part of the story instead of controlling it. And so the action says, when you find yourself highly committed to a specific outcome and desperate for control, ask yourself, and it has a couple of questions, y'all. And I'm going to answer these questions. If the thing I want most doesn't happen, then what? Let me tell y'all something. Usually when I want something and it don't happen, I find other ways to get it. So when I first moved to Texas, I had a plan A through D, probably E, F, G too. Because I came down here and I was like, okay, this is the path I want to go. I'm going to wait and see if this pan out. So when that didn't pan out, I was like, okay, time to plan B. Now, before I left Chicago, I said, I'm going to do this. So I'm going to stay with my brother and his wife and their kids. And I'm going to stay there for, I think it was just 2 days. It's supposed to be the day that I got there and then like the 4th of July. And I wanted to go to a family shelter because I know some shelters will place you in an apartment faster, even if you don't have an income. And so I contacted those shelters while I was in Chicago, and I was like, hey, I'm in a situation. I'm moving to Texas. I don't really have a place to stay, and I want to look for a family shelter. And so they was like, well, you have to be here in Texas in order for us to take you in. We can't do it over the phone and then wait for you to get here because we're withholding space for somebody else who may need it. And I understood that. So that was plan A. Plan B was to stay with my brother and his wife and their family. I think I gave myself a year. I said, if I have to, I'll stay with them for a year. And hopefully by then I'll have a job and saved up enough money to get my own house, my own car, whatnot. Plan C was that if staying with them wasn't going to work, then I was going to go stay with a friend. Now, this friend is, I ain't going to say he an ex. We used to talk in Chicago, and he had moved down here to Texas. And so when I told him I was coming down, he told me if I needed anything to reach out to him, but I say Skippy. And so that was going to be my plan C. Plan D was to just thug it out. I was going to get a hotel room and try to work, make odds ends meet, and just live in like a hotel suite with me. It was me and my 3 kids. Now, mind you, when I came down here, I had a 16-year-old boy, and I think my daughter was 12 or 13, and my baby was like 7. Yeah, because they're like 4 years apart. So I was telling myself like, this is my plan. Now, I came up with other scenarios in my head of things I can do or whatever, but we got to plan A. Plan A didn't work, so we went with plan B. Plan B works. During plan B, I was ready to go. Probably after 3 months. Nope. Probably after a month. I didn't want to be there anymore. I had started feeling like maybe I should reconsider my relationship with my brother and his wife, because when you think you know somebody, you kind of don't really know them. And so You learn things about people when you live with them versus when you just go over their house and you be over their house. It's a different kind of relationship when you live with somebody, when you don't live with somebody. And so I saw a lot of things that I didn't really care for. I didn't really like. I didn't really voice my opinion about them because that's their lifestyle. That's how they live, whatever. Um, it was a lot of bickering going on, a lot of arguments that was popping up, things like that. And so I had to really chime in on myself and say, you got to get the fuck out this house. And so in order for me to do that, I had to get a job, but the car was an issue, which I told my brother, if I come down here, I would need access to a vehicle because where they live didn't have public transportation. And so it was a little hard because I had to pull teeth to do that. So it was just a lot of commotion. But I didn't really work. I had a job. I was trying to work for Amazon. I think that was my first job down here working for Amazon. And it didn't work out for me. I didn't really care for that hard labor. I'm a girl to girl, that wasn't for me. Jumping out them vans just wasn't for me. So I ended up getting a job, and I was working in like sort of a halfway house, but we had like over 100 people. We had a women's side and a men's side, and we could hold up to 50 men, 50 women. And I worked there, and my first 2 checks, I went and bought me a car. I took both of it was hard for me not to touch that money because I needed that money. When I came down here, I probably had about $1,500 in my pocket. I had to take 1,000 of them dollars and pay for the U-Haul truck once I got here. That was like, so it left me with very little to no money. And when we first got here, we were going out doing stuff, spending money, shopping, eating, everything. So yeah, that went quick. So I did need some pocket money, and I sacrificed that. Through the grace of God, my cousin, I had just enough money to get my car. I had just enough money to do down payment. And my cousin blessed me with the insurance money so that I could be able to drive off the lot. And I'm so forever grateful for her. Don't ever think I'll forget that, Sharita. Anyways, so that's just how one thing didn't work for me. I kind of I make plans. So I plan things. If those things don't work for me, I go to the next and the next and the next until I exhaust everything I have. And that's kind of like what surrender is saying. Like, we do everything we possibly can until we can't no more before we give up. And so that's pretty much what it was. That's my answer to that question. I know it was long. And the question was, if one thing doesn't happen, then what? The next question is, if I stop trying to make it happen, then what? If I stop trying to make my hopes and dreams come true, or everything that I envision myself to have, or for my purpose of moving here to Texas, I feel like that I failed, that I'm a failure, not just to me, but to my kids. And so that's just me. That's how I think. I've always felt that way. But I didn't fail. So I didn't feel like a failure. And actually, y'all, when I got my car, I ended up moving. I got my car in, I want to say January, and I moved into my house in March. So I was out of my brother's and my sister-in-law's house within 8 months on one single income. Don't ever say you can't do something, baby. You could do it. It takes some discipline. It takes some self-discipline, and it takes some hard work, and it's going to be hard. You're going to have days where you want to just walk around a cul-de-sac, because that's what I used to do. Walk around that cul-de-sac and cry. I used to clean to cope. Like, I used to clean to cope, so every day I was cleaning. And I clean often. Like, I'm one of the people I like to clean, especially if it's a lot of people in the house. I'm be the one to clean without you asking me to clean, because I can't. So it says, if I took the energy I'm spending worrying about tomorrow instead of focusing on loving myself and my life today, then what? And I can't really answer that question because I've learned over time that I do come first. Y'all, Anyway, I had to, whew. Tell me you got sinuses and allergies without telling me you have sinuses and allergies. Anyway, the question was, if I took the energy I'm spending worrying about tomorrow instead of focusing on loving myself in my life today, then what? I don't have an answer for that question, for the reason that when I came down here to Texas, I started loving myself. I realized that I couldn't depend on people loving me, not family, not friends, not cousins, not relationships with whoever I have them with. Like, I had to learn to love myself. And so that first year I came down here, it was really tough. It was hard for me to actually love on me when I was staying with other people. And so that was my rush of getting out, because I had to show myself some love for all the hard work I do. And there is no then what. I had to be in this moment to do what I had to do for me, because that's what I needed to do. And there was no other option. It was do it, get it done, and keep working on it. And here I am 5 years later in Texas, and I'm still working on me every day. I'm still bettering myself, not to be the better me yesterday, but to be the better version of me for tomorrow. Like, I'm so looking forward to the next day to see what I can get done, what I can do with my life, and where my next steps are going to lead me. I'm so obsessed with living a certain kind of way that there is no option. So when I tell y'all, if y'all watch my video of do I stay or do I go, and I talk about whether or not I'm going to have a garden or not, or if I'm going to continue to garden, or what I'm going to do. I decided that I was going to go trucking, and regardless if I go trucking or if I decide another route to wherever I need to go, whichever way it leads me, it's going to lead me to the promise I made myself, to have me some land, to get me a house built from the ground up, or to be able to buy me a dream home to place on that property. I want what I want, and I'm going to get it by any means necessary. And I don't care who think I'm Delulu, let me be Delulu on my own. Just watch it fold out. Like, I really at this point do not care about anything else besides me getting where I promised myself to be. And I didn't give myself a timeline, because I feel like when I put a timeline on something, that I'm more pressured to do it, and it causes me to be stressed, and I go into depression if I feel like I'm not hitting those marks. And so what I do is I make small goals, like saving money. If I want to go on a trip or do something, okay, well, you got to do a savings challenge in order to be able to do this, or you won't be able to do it. And so I push myself to be able to do that. If I need to get something fixed or do something outside of what I'm already doing, then I know I have to make these small goals in between what I'm doing next. So if my next step is to look for land, I need to have the money first to be able to look for it. I don't know about other people. Other people, they like the terminology of going to envision yourself there. I already have that vision. That's already within me. So I don't need to go look at land and property. I want to have the money, not so that I can impulse buy, but if I have the money, I feel like I'll do more research and more looking. And I know it's the opposite for other people, but that's just the beauty in us humans. We're all different. We all think different. We're all going to do things a little bit different. But this is how I've came to terms with myself. And so, yes. So there was no other option. I had to start learning and loving on me and loving my life today and for every day after, because that was it for me. Like, it was no other options. So that's the letter S for surrender. And I hope y'all really have these books. I hope y'all really do, because if you take the time to do this book from A to Z, you will start to see small things about yourself that you kind of change along the way, or try to fix along the way, or try to improve along the way of this book. I know I've done a lot of things where I've changed some things, especially my perspective of different words like rest and surrender, like being happy and, you know, opening up my mind to curiosity when negativity fills the room. So yes, use this book. It's a tool, and I like it. But like I said, go get this book. I got the videos down there in my video sections. Y'all can go and look at those. Also, I have this book, Find Good Habits and Find Your Calm. There's one called Find Your Peace. All of these books that I have come from Five Below. So go get y'all books, because we're about to elevate ourselves. We're going to learn how to love ourselves on different levels. So this book is the ABCs of self-love. We're going to learn how to get some good habits in our routines. And we're going to learn how to find our calm when we in those chaotic moments. So let's get it, y'all. Love, peace, and sanity.